What up, YouTube? It's your boy JusRzd, and welcome to another edition of Ray's Reviews. Except for this episode is a tad bit different. Today we're actually gonna do an album review. For those who don't know, I am a husband, a father, a son, a brother, all these different things, all these different titles, but I'm also an independent artist, and I love creating music. I love listening to music. I feel like music is an important part of life. So I enjoy the creative process. I listen to music differently than most people. So I thought it would be a dope idea to take Ray's Reviews in a musical direction as well. I'm gonna still be reviewing movies and TV shows and stuff like that, but brand new segment, we're gonna do some album reviews too, where I don't necessarily have to listen to the whole project on the stream, but what I can do is give my thoughts on the project after listening to it and kind of sitting with the project, because I feel like nowadays people don't really sit with the project no more. Like, the project drops and then they in your DMs asking when the next project drops, and it's like, fam, the project just dropped yesterday. Why would I be dropping another project so soon? What we doing? You ain't even listen good. So I figure since we live in such a microwave society when it comes to musical taste, when it comes to just entertainment in general, I was like, why not? Let me take a stab and let me take a crack at these album reviews. So first up on the that sounds bad, but I was gonna say first up on the chopping block, but that sounds negative. First up on the review board, there we go. That sounds better. Brand new segment. First up on the review board, we got Jackie Hill Perry's Practice EP. Now, for those who don't know, Jackie Hill Perry is also a daughter. She's a wife, and she is a very prominent, she's a mother. She's a very prominent speaker, preacher, lover of Jesus, lover of God. She's an author. She has a lot of hats. A podcaster, a lot of hats, and she's great at what she does. She's a poet. She's great at what she does. She has a very strong gifting in words, and she used to rap. I know she's been out of the game for a long time, probably like 6 or 7 years, and the game kind of misses Jackie Hill Perry. And I know she got in some hot water earlier this year by saying it wasn't any lyricists in the Christian hip hop space, which is the space she used to be involved in. She used to be involved in herself as an artist in the Christian hip hop space. So it was interesting for her to be gone for 6 or 7 years and then come back and say she didn't feel like it was any lyricists. But she walked that statement back in a later interview, and also she walked that statement back in a later interview and explained what she was trying to say by saying that, and it made sense. So no love lost on my end for Jackie Hill Perry. I was a big Jackie Hill Perry fan when she was with Humble Beast. To be honest, even before she was with Humble Beast, and she was with what was it, Passion for Christ movement, and she was doing poetry. Her, Ezekiel, I'm trying to think. Her, Ezekiel Preston, Joseph Solomon, Genetics, just a list of phenomenal poets that used to do like different spoken word events. They had the Poets in Autumn where they would tour with the spoken word. It was dope. It was pretty fire. I was able to catch a couple shows, but yeah, man, it was. I was a big fan of hers. Her first 2 albums were phenomenal. Chef's Kiss. It was a beautiful soundscape, lyricism, bars, production, everything. The album was just fire. Both of them, Crescendo and The Art of Joy, both of them fire. Both of them were dope. And so, with her kind of stepping away for so long, I don't know if anybody thought she was ever going to come back to music and drop any more music. She would do snippets here and there on social media, but to see her actually back in the space of making music and being signed to Reach Records, it's kind of a big deal. So with this particular EP, I kind of have my album reviews broken down in sections. So it's gonna be like maybe 4 or 5 different sections. We're gonna talk about the production. We're gonna talk about the bars. We're gonna talk about the creativity, the feel, and of course my favorites. So with this particular project, it was interesting because it wasn't that long. It definitely wasn't that long. I want to say it was like seven or 8 records. And it was very interesting to be labeled practice. Was kind of, not only was it poetic, but it was like spot on. This EP kind of felt like that. It kind of felt like practice, in my personal opinion. Being, like I said, being a very big Jackie Hill Perry fan, we know what she used to be capable of when it comes to like putting together albums. This particular EP didn't necessarily feel like that same type of tone or feel. It felt like she was, it felt like practice. Like it felt like she was trying to get back into swing of rapping. It felt like she was trying to, it felt like she was trying to just like get back in that mold, get in, and being away for so long, it felt like she was trying new cadences, new flows, and different pockets and different things, which is a great thing for any artist to try and for any artist to do. As far as the feel with this, as far as the overall feel of this particular EP, for me personally, like I said, it felt like practice in good ways and in some negative ways. Like in good ways because she's, as an artist, is expanding her palette as an artist, and I'm Mr. FreeSoul, so it's I feel I'm all for creative freedom for any artist, for any content creator, for any person that's out here doing something that they love. I'm all for creative freedom. So I love to see artists really stretch themselves and try new things. So that's always going to be a positive for me. The execution might be shaky on certain ends for certain people. And I wouldn't say it was shaky for Jackie Hill Perry on this project, but certain songs, it felt like she may have been a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but then as the song went on and she switched to a different pocket or a different cadence, or the production kind of developed differently, she got more comfortable and in pocket, and it started to flow smoother. And that's always an interesting place to be at, for, in my opinion, for an artist, because it's when you try new things, it can be difficult to find that pocket and that rhythm just off top, but you can kind of tell as certain songs progress that she was finding it as the production changed, as the production built, as the flow switched, as the cadence changed. And it was just it was interesting as a listener to kind of hear that, because usually Jackie's like very kind of poetic, and like but we're talking about 6-7 years ago as far as the albums that she put out. So this particular one, for this to be her first like body of work after being removed from the space for like 6 or 7 years, I definitely don't consider this a bad project. But like I said, to me personally, for as far as the feel, it felt like practice. It felt like her trying to get back into swinging things. It felt like her just trying to find her way in today's landscape of music. And I ain't mad at it. Now, as far as the creativity for this particular project, I love the way she chose to attack certain new cadences that she's not normally used to doing. And I love the way that she approached certain aspects of the production. Especially on songs like Psalms 88, especially on songs like Leave Me Alone, and even TBD. I like what she did with TBD as well. And the Blood was dope. I thought I thought that they were gonna go a different direction with the Blood. I thought it was gonna be like maybe once once the hook came in, it was like, oh, they're singing the actual hymn, Nothing But the Blood. And so I was like, oh, maybe this will build out, because in certain Christian hip hop spaces, for certain artists, once they tap into like a worship record or they're flipping a worship record for like the hook of their song, eventually they're gonna build it out into like a worship type of feel towards the end. So that's what I thought was gonna happen. Then it didn't happen, and I was like, oh man, I feel like they missed the opportunity. I feel like they missed the opportunity there, but I'm not mad at the way that they did it. It's just, for me, I thought that that's where they were going, and then they didn't go there, and I was like, oh, well. It was, as far as creativity, it was something else. I think it was Ready or Not. Ready or Not, I love the cadence of the hook on Ready or Not. I didn't really like the hook on Ready or Not, but I love the creativity and the cadence in the hook for Ready or Not. I didn't necessarily like the words in the hook for Ready or Not. I felt like it could have been a little bit more creative and catchy. But the delivery of what was being said was fire to me. It was creative. We had the animated voice and the different octaves. It was just dope. It was creative to me. But yeah, now as far as we spoke on the feel, we spoke on the creativity. Now as far as like to add on the feel and creativity, the flow of the album felt good. It felt good. And I'm gonna pivot from flow to production, because it felt good. Like I said, it felt like an EP to me personally. But it felt good. It flowed well. The production, phenomenal. I actually love the production on this project. Each production, like I'm I'm from Virginia, but you know what I mean, I grew up on Southern music and East Coast music and Midwest music, for real. So it's just like the Southern bops like that. It was a couple records, like I want to say Practice had dope production on it, especially the flip in the middle of Practice. Then you had Ready or Not. Ready or Not reminded me of like a dope a dope like 3-6 Project Pat, 8-Ball MJG, maybe a Duke Deuce, you know what I mean, type Memphis type record. Like that's how it made me feel, and I was like, yo, this joint kind of hard. My concern as far as with that type of production for Jackie Hill Perry's type of style, is because she's so wordy and so detailed in her lyrical ability and her wordplay. Sometimes on specific beats like that, especially like Southern beats or just beats that are more like vibey than like I need you to come crazy lyrically, I just feel like sometimes being overly wordy can kind of like hinder the flow of the record and hinder the vibe of the record. And you got to be like really, really, really precise. You know what I mean? Because a lot of those records are like either like party records or like vibey records, and you could really do a lot without doing so much. You know what I mean? Like if you keep it simpler and you simplify the flow and kind of play with the different cadences and melodies and stuff like that. I'm not saying that she has to sing or anything like that, but just kind of playing with the different pockets that are available to you, that I feel like it'll flow a little bit better. I felt like specifically with Ready or Not, it seemed a little too wordy for me for that type of style. But I know that's how how Jackie Hill Perry is as an artist. Like she's very gifted with words, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's just when you're trying out different styles and different production and stuff like that, you kind of got to be mindful of being overly wordy on certain type of production, because sometimes it can be a little off-putting, to say the least. But as far as the production already or not, I loved it. like I said, Practice was fire. Psalm 88 probably is one of my favorite pieces of production on this particular album. Psalm 88 was fire. Just so smooth, so soulful. It was just a vibe. It was like an experience. Like that. Psalm 88 was dope. Then you got then you got Pick It Up. I really like Pick It Up. Yes, I have a pencil. I have notes. But then you got Pick It Up. Pick It Up. I like what she did with Pick It Up. I like what she did with Pick It Up. I wasn't really too much of a fan. The production was fire. It was very 808 heavy, just in your face, and I like that. I wasn't a fan of the hook of Pick It Up like that. I was a fan of what she did when she was repeating Pick It Up, but when the feature came in for the hook, I was just like, it was cool, but I don't know. I felt like a different direction might have been better. And Leave Me Alone. The production on Leave Me Alone was phenomenal. And just the production like I said, the production overall on this project, I don't have too many complaints because it was fire to me. TBD was dope. The Blerd was dope. Yeah, so. And as far as bars, we're gonna pivot into bars. Bars, man. The bars of these records, if it's one thing you're gonna get with Jackie Hill Perry, you're gonna get bars. Certain records, I feel like certain records probably hit me more lyrically than others. Like I wasn't really a fan of the first half of First Draft like that, but the second half it kind of picked up for me. And it felt like that with certain songs. Like certain songs I wasn't feeling the first half lyrically, and how it was delivered, but then like the second half it kind of grew on me. She started flowing in different pockets and feeling more comfortable on certain records, and it was just like, yo, this is tough. So when it comes to bars, you know you're gonna get bars when you're dealing with Jackie Hill Perry, so that's not a question. But with, like I said, about Ready or Not, like with certain types of production, sometimes being overly wordy or being gifted with words can be a hindrance instead of a help. So sometimes you just gotta kind of gotta keep it simple. And I feel like she did that on certain records like Psalm 88. Like she was able to like kind of flow in the melody a lot easier and a lot smoother on that type of record, even on TBD and even on the Blerd as well. So I thought those were good examples of her just kind of finding those pockets and really like finding life in those pockets. Like I really like those records. Now, as far as my favorites, if we're gonna talk favorites, since we talking Practice, if we're gonna talk favorites, for me personally, Psalms 88 is my favorite record off of this. Psalms 88, Leave Me Alone, TBD, and The Blerd are probably my 4 favorite records. Psalms 88 was just a whole vibe. It was dope. She killed it on the verses. She killed it playing with the melodies on the verses and stuff. The hook was fire. I think it was Sunday on the hook. And if I'm not mistaken, it sounded like the same guy on the other songs as well. I could be wrong though, but I know Sunday for sure was on Psalm 88, and that's my favorite. that's my favorite song off the record. Leave Me Alone was fire too. I thought the hook was funny to me, but but the way it was delivered was cold. So I Leave Me Alone. I thought the hook was funny, but it was dope the way they delivered it. So Leave Me Alone is definitely a favorite. That'll probably be my number 2. And then TBD, I love how short, sweet, and to the point it is, and I just really like that record. This whole EP kind of felt short. It felt short to me. I could be tripping, but it felt short. I know it was only like 7 or 8 songs, but the songs in itself, in certain instances, kind of felt short. And I don't know if that's because of how the songs were structured, because certain songs felt like they only had like 1 hook, or maybe like 2 hooks, and then it was over, and it was just like, huh. But yeah, like I said, Psalm 88, Leave Me Alone, TBD, and the Blerd, even though they didn't go the way that I thought that they was gonna go, I still rock with the Blerd. I thought it was done well. I thought it was a beautiful song. So for me personally, the Practice EP by Jackie Hill Perry, I'll give it like a 7.5. I remember when she was talking on her rollout for this particular project, 7.5 out of 10, by the way. I remember her talking about these are songs and verses that she was writing during the pandemic and during the time that she had been gone away from music. So with that being said, and with her expressing that, I never really expected album Jackie Hill Perry. You feel me? Like, I never expected, like, 6-7 years ago, Jackie Hill Perry. It was just more so of, like, okay, she's trying to get back in the swing of things. Cool. This is something to hold people over until she's finished working on the album. Got you. I feel you. I rock with that. So, yeah. Like I said, I give it 7.5 out of 10. I'm excited. I'm personally excited to see what else musically she's gonna do. I know she said she's working on an album. I'm super excited to hear that. I like the EP. I appreciate her vulnerability and even putting something out that she listed as practice. Because some artists they'll practice, but they ain't gonna let nobody hear it. They got 1,000 songs sitting on their laptop that ain't nobody gonna ever hear. So I appreciate her even putting the project out. You know what I mean? It's only 7-8 songs, but it's a solid listen. The production is fire. The flows and cadences are creative. It's really her trying to get back in the swing of things. So that was dope. And just having a project, something musical from Jackie Hill Perry is like it's a dope experience. So I appreciate it. And it's funny because I know I've heard so many mixed reviews from it. You got some people that are on the extreme left and hating on it, and then you got some people that are on the extreme right and loving it. And I'm probably leaning right. So I'm like somewhere in the middle, leaning right. Cause like I like the project. I like the project overall. And yeah, so let me know in the comments below how y'all feel about the Jackie Hill Perry project, Practice. It's an EP that she just recently released like a week or two ago. Let me know if y'all have had a chance to listen to it. Are y'all rocking with it? Are y'all not rocking with it? Do you agree with me on any of the points that I listed? And I appreciate y'all for tapping into another edition of Ray's Review. This time we talking albums. It's gonna be some more. I'm gonna do Tori Deshawn album next. I'm gonna do I see Jared finally Jared Sanders finally dropped the album, so I'm gonna be doing that one too. So I'm only gonna be reviewing albums. So let me know in the comments below who I should do first, Tori or Jared. I'm leaning more so towards Tori because his album was phenomenal. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Comment below how you felt about the Jackie Hill Perry project. I just love saying Jackie Hill Perry. It just rolls off the tongue so nicely. But let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. Let's keep it respectful. Let's keep it love. Let's keep it light. And yeah, man. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop a new video on the channel and for any of the new segments that we are working on for the channel. Stay tapped in and hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow from here. And never forget, it's FreeSoul. To the show, free. Let's get it.